Hello, I'm David G, a business, marketing, and personal development enthusiast. I'm a husband, father of two cats, and most importantly, a human being. So I'm doing these sessions because if what I share can help just one person and make a positive impact on their lives, no matter how tiny it may be, it will be the most satisfying thing in the world for me. So usually I'll try to share just one piece of practical knowledge that I learned from somebody else way smarter than me. And I'll try to talk about a little bit, and I hope that it can help you in one way or another. Now, if you have any questions or want to share your experience about the topic, feel free to post them in the comments as well. After all, the more you engage in the content, the better you will learn yourself. And also feel free to post what country you are from here in the comments, because it's always great to see where people are tuning in from. Okay, so today's knowledge, or today's topic is, here we go. People pay to have their problem solved. Okay, so I learned this topic from, well, this is a very popular thing that people say from Elon Musk, but my own mentor, Steve Jensen, shout out to him, and is always hammering this in my head. And I think it's a great topic to always have on top of your head. So imagine this, okay? You are wanting to, I don't know, you want to buy something. Now, what's the reason you want to buy something? It's usually to achieve something and to make your life better in one way or another. This is one of the things. And usually to make things better is to get out of something that's, not as good in some one way or another, some kind of pain. And this is the point of, to solve a problem of some sort. So usually people are most willing to pay when there's a problem, okay? And they want it solved. So for everything we do, it's that we pay for, it's to solve a problem, okay? So we pay for food because the problem is we're hungry and we want to eat, okay? So we pay for clothing because the problem is we need to stay warm. Or the problem is we need to look good, right? And we pay for fashion. And so everything is, you pay to have your problem solved. Okay, to solve one problem or another. Now, the follow-up quote to this is, so they will only pay if the solution will help them avoid the pain that they're currently in. That's quite important. Now, the second part of this, okay, now they were linking to Elon Musk. My coach, actually, Steve Jensen, says this as well, which is people will pay accordingly to how big the problem is for them. So the bigger it is to them, the more they will pay to have it solved. And so there's a few nuances to it. So Elon Musk himself says people pay in proportion, you get paid in proportion to the problem you solve, okay? And so the bigger the problem, so for example, somebody has cancer. If you have the cure for cancer, they will pay, and they're going to pay all the money in the world because the problem is that big for them, and they will pay everything to stay alive, okay? And so the principle extends to everything. So if you want, a house that you can live in that's really good, then you're going to have to pay a lot of money for it, right? Because it solves, a big problem, right? So this principle remains the same. So but here's something interesting. Whilst people will pay for big problems, they might not always realize that they have a problem. Okay, so this is something interesting for you to think about, which is how can you help someone realize how big the problem is? Now, so this can be applied to sales. This can be applied to anything. If you make the other person realize how big the problem is, then they're willing to pay more. So, and then on the other end, if you make them realize, how the problem is not really that big, then maybe they're not going to pay as much for it as well. So that's something else in reverse you can use as a skill. Okay, so next time you think about, it also works for applying for jobs as well. So people will find you more valuable if they think you can solve a bigger problem. Or, the more problems you can solve yourself, not even how they perceive, but if you can genuinely solve a lot of problems, you're going to be paid more money. And so the advice that I got from this is, one, you want to make sure that you're always solving people's problems, and that's how you will get paid. Okay, so no matter what you do, you solve a bigger problem, they're going to pay you right away, and that's quite important. Two is you should make people see your value by realizing, how much problems you are solving for them. So then you get paid more in proportion to that. So that's something quite important. Yeah, so these are some big things, and that's how I would apply it. Okay, so always think, what kind of problem can I solve? What are the biggest problems I can solve for somebody? And then if you think like this, your income will increase a lot because you're going to be solving a lot of problems. Okay, so some questions for you to think about is, you're getting paid right now. How big of a problem are you solving? If you're solving a lot of problems, then that's really good. And if you are not solving that much problem, are you getting paid, in proportion to that? So if you want to get paid more, what problems can you solve? And what are bigger problems that you can solve? Because the bigger the problem, the more you get paid. So I really like that. Anyways, so this is the theory for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked it, make sure to like the video and subscribe, or comment below on any feedback you have about the video, or how you applied this, or if you applied this and what happened afterwards. So these are all very interesting things, and I'd love to hear more about it from you. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you soon.